The risk of stagflation is rising. Absolutely it is. However, we need to understand why the current environment makes it very difficult for a stagflation process to be persistent, even to be something that is going to last for more than a quarter. The recession risk is rising to around 35% from 20%. 35% is similar to the recession risk probability that existed in October 2024. However, stagflation risk is higher, and a contraction in GDP coming from lower government spending and higher imports is an effect that is very unlikely to be stagflationary for a very prolonged period of time, for more than a quarter, for a very simple reason. Those are adjustments based on the imbalances created in the first part of 2024 and also throughout the entire 2024 period. But more importantly, what we need to understand is that in order to suffer a stagflation process, you need to see the economy slowing down, government spending going through the roof, and money supply with money velocity rising way too fast, which means that inflation rises but the economy stagnates. Furthermore, you need to see an environment in which credit growth is exceedingly diminished. However, that is not the case right now. That is certainly not the case with the policies of central banks. Central banks know how to address deflation, or at least think that they know how to address deflation, recession, inflation, or elevated levels of growth. But they don't know how to handle a stagflation risk. Why? Because inflation is rising, therefore they cannot cut rates, and at the same time the economy is slowing down, so they they should actually increase the supply of money, but they actually don't do it. Therefore, what we need to understand is that central banks are not going to be the solution this time. But what we need to see is that it's very difficult to have a stagflation process in the current economy if it's not led by government spending and led by money supply and money velocity. That is very important, and it's also important to understand that the risk of a recession, if it comes from cutting government spending, is not a risk, it's a positive.